functions, and then we'll end with the disorders of the cerebellum. So from yesterday's class, what we remember is cerebellum is not directly participating in the execution per se, but it is participating majorly in planning the motor activity, and it is participating in refining it in a nice way in terms of scaling an activity, that part, and if there is an error, cerebellum participates in correcting that error. So directly execution it's not doing, right? So that part to remember. We also remember that cerebellum has got a cortex and a medulla, and medulla we have deep cerebellar nuclei, and cerebellar cortex mein we have this intricate network of granule cells, Purkinje cells, the major ones, and a lot of other interneurons in between. And the axons of the granule cells we discussed yesterday, that they ascend up to the most superficial aspects of the cerebellar cortex and it divides like a T and ramifies further. So this is the parallel fiber network. So this is a very simplistic depiction of the network. So I'll just revise the basic things that we discussed yesterday. All afferents that go to the cerebellum, right, they will either be in the form of climbing fibers or the mossy fibers. What are the climbing fibers? Afferents which relay first in the inferior olive and then to the cerebellar cortex are called as climbing fibers, and the other afferents which directly reach the cerebellum, these are called as mossy fibers. So from both of these, what you find here, it is initially stimulating the deep cerebellar nuclei, and deep cerebellar nuclei ka jo effect hai, that is always excitatory. So during the beginning of a movement, the cerebellar circuitry reinforces the movement. It gives the initial push or impetus to the movement that happens. The same mossy fiber afferents also reach the granule cells, and here they excite the granule cells. Granule cells in turn carry this signal forward and they reach the Purkinje cells. Parallel fiber network mein the most numerous dendrites that form a connection at the Purkinje cells. So they excite the Purkinje cells. Purkinje cell in turn inhibits the deep cerebellar nuclei. So Purkinje cell ka effect is inhibitory towards the deep cerebellar nuclei. So that is fixed. So if Purkinje cell is activated, the overall excitation is reduced or stopped. Granule cell also makes some connection with the basket cells and several other cells. So if the basket cell is stimulated, what it does is it inhibits the Purkinje cells. Purkinje cell जो आगे चल के deep cerebellar nuclei को inhibit कर रहा था, that effect is gone. The deep cerebellar nuclei escapes this inhibition and is now free to excite again. So cerebellar circuit में the bottom line is there are multiple such points where you can stimulate an activity or inhibit an activity. So this is usually referred to as a turn on, turn off aspects of the cerebellar circuitry. So overall motor activity may, depending on the requirement, you can increase or decrease. So that becomes important when we are measuring something and we want to correct in between a movement that happens. Right, we have already talked about this. So smaller feed forward and feedback circuits bring about sharpening of the neural activity as desired. Right? So feed forward जो effect है, that is a very unique feature of a cerebellar circuit. It's usually not present in other parts of the CNS, but very unique to the cerebellar circuitry. Now what does this mean, this neural sharpening? So we have talked about this, that the granule cells, already have talked about this. तो basket cell के through जो Purkinje cell को it was inhibiting. So that is an example of feed forward inhibition of the Purkinje cell. Similarly, feed forward inhibition of the granule cell. So granule cell also stimulates the Golgi cells, which in turn inhibits, आगे चल के it is inhibiting the granule cell itself. So this is a feed forward inhibition because granule cell itself is the same afferent is itself stimulating the Golgi cell. The other mode was Golgi cell can get stimulated from the granule efferent. Parallel fiber network से भी the Golgi cell complex or the Golgi cell can be stimulated or excited. So this is an inhibitory neuron, right? This will further inhibit the granule cell. So this is a feedback inhibition. This is a feed forward inhibition. So this feed forward aspects, both these examples are very unique to the cerebellar neurons, as I said. Now moving back, parallel fiber network is actually the crux which helps cerebellum perform its most important function, that is coordination of movement. And how does it do so? So movements at different joints are coordinated by long parallel fibers that interconnect the corresponding joint areas on the somatotopic map. So just like the cerebral cortex, thalamus and a lot of other places, red nucleus for example, cerebellum also has a somatotopic map of the body, right? There are two maps, one in the anterior lobe and one in the posterior lobe. And parallel fiber network, जो था ये, this is connecting at all these body parts or joints for example. So whenever we want multiple joints में एक साथ movement हो, तो long parallel fibers which are able to interconnect across joints on this map participate in neural excitation, right? So this is how coordination happens. Now, coordination of movement, basal ganglia also participates in that, but there is a slight but a distinct difference. Cerebellum का जो effect है, cerebellum effect on coordination is across multiple joints, moving multiple joints such that हर एक joint के लिए जो motor program था, they can smoothly transition from one to another and simultaneously also multiple joints can be moved. This is the effect of cerebellar coordination. Basal ganglia में जो coordination effect है, that is one motor sub program transitioning to another. तो ये एक difference है. Basal ganglia cannot move multiple joints at a time. Cerebellar function does that, right? Moving further to the efferents. So we talked about the afferents, right? We have talked about the circuit of the cerebellum. Next, move on to the efferents. Now this diagram is from Ganong, and the beauty of this is it's a very simple diagram. But if you look at the efferents, you get to know the functions of the different parts also, right? So let's start with this: the vestibulocerebellum, the flocculonodular lobe. So efferents from the vestibulocerebellum go towards the vestibular nuclei. Vestibular nuclei is a conglomerate of 4 nuclei within the brainstem: superior, inferior, lateral, medial, right? इनका जो function है vestibular nuclei, we have talked about this in the descending tracts, that they participate in forming or giving origin to the vestibulospinal tracts, the lateral vestibulospinal tract and the medial vestibulospinal tract, right? Moving on to the cerebellar hemispheres. So this part, the efferents go back to the motor and the premotor cortex. So they do not participate in any descending influence as such. इनका जो efferents है, fibers from the cerebrocerebellum, they go back to the cerebral cortex and the other cortical areas. So they participate in motor planning and programming. Coming to the midline structures. So the midline structure in the cerebellum is the vermis, and vermis ke adjacent, the area on both sides which flanks the vermis, this is called as the intermediate zone. So this is the spinocerebellum, the whole thing. Midline aspect, the vermis. This is the paravermal area or the intermediate zone. So spinocerebellum, as the name tells you, efferents go to the spinal cord. Now the most medial structure, that is the vermis, they go to the medial aspect of the spinal cord. जहाँ से which fibers are arising? Medial descending pathways. All the pathways concerned with maintenance of tone, posture and axial muscles of the body. And from this part, जो इसके adjacent areas है, from this part, they go down to the lateral descending system of the descending tracts. So lateral descending system comprises of the corticospinal tract and the rubrospinal tract. So function wise, if you think, lateral descending systems को if I am able to influence, तो precise movements, fine tuning the movements, refinement in the movements, all these things can be done. And if you think of the motor, the medial pathways, तो cerebellum का effect is there on the tone and the posture of the body, right? So these are all the functions of the cerebellum, right? So here the important thing that to remember is vestibulocerebellum does not relay to the through the deep cerebellar nuclei. Vestibulocerebellum के जो efferents है, they directly go to the vestibular nuclei. But for the others, cerebrocerebellum, it projects through the dentate nucleus and then to the thalamus. Spinocerebellum, जो medial part है, vermal part, it projects to the fastigial nucleus. Lateral portion, it projects through the globose and emboliform nuclei, together which are known as nucleus interpositus. So they will reach the different brainstem nuclei, influencing the medial or the lateral descending tracts. Now functions. So we have just enlisted कि अलग-अलग functional divisions. If you remember, these things will all fall into place, right? So functions, if I see, it is participating, planning a movement, smooth progression of a movement. Smooth progression of a movement involving multiple joints, right? Coordination of the movements, comparator function. So that means it is able to compare the plan and the feedback. And if there is a mismatch, it plan here tha and this is the feedback, it also does subconscious correction of that error, right? So this is one. Balance के लिए which part will you consider? Vestibulocerebellum. Now apart from this, motor learning is one more area where the cerebellum as a whole, especially the cerebellar cortex, they participate in motor learning. We'll talk about this in details then. Ballistic movements also. So these are the various functions of the cerebellum, right? So part wise you have already talked about this. Right, we'll just skip this slide. Okay, now let's see two examples. So, I am sure many of you have done this game in school, right? If on a annual sports day, have you done this ever? Right? You've balanced egg and with holding it through your mouth, you have covered a distance, right? So you think about this example. Is it a very simple activity? Is this activity simple or very complicated? It is a very complex activity. So to reach the end line, what are the things that should be there? So you have planned, what are the things your brain needs to plan? Coordination of the eye should be there, कि your vision is fixated on the object or not, right? Balance बहुत important है. Balance, you're balancing as a whole, but you're also trying to balance the egg on the spoon, right? And interestingly, you also have to cover a distance. You're walking, right? So walking के लिए अपना एक motor plan है, that is going on, right? But simultaneously, you also have to see the feedback, कि the egg should not fall down. The weight of the egg as you walk, that feedback also should go to the brain, right? Moment to moment basis पे हो सकता है like the egg, it might tend to slip off once on this side, the next moment on the other side. तो हर एक moment पे you need this feedback, right? कि किस तरह सरक रहा है, and then you have to correct it instantaneously, right? So all of this aspect, ये जितने भी चीज़ें आपने, like you can imagine right now, to reach the goal. So that is all, you can summarize the functions of cerebellum. Similarly here, throwing a ball in a basket or sports like this, what are the things you need to calculate in advance before you throw the ball or you punch? What are the things you need to calculate? Posture to you need not calculate. You need to calculate what? Distance, right? Distance के हिसाब से you have to do the force, डायरेक्शन भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, राइट, स्पीड भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. So all of these are the measurement or scaling functions of cerebellum. So cerebellum participates in all these functions. Planning, programming, we have talked about this multiple times. Timing of movements. So how does this function happen? So cerebellum behaves like a device which times the duration of agonist muscle activity. This is important कि agonist कितने देर तक वो काम कर रहा है, and then latency of the antagonist, so that at the desired moment it can stop. Remember cerebellar circuit में on के साथ there will multiple points of turn off. So if you want to stop a movement abruptly, that also needs the participation of cerebellum, right? So without that you cannot stop a movement abruptly as such. Scaling and predicting functions, we have just seen in the example. You need to scale or measure the speed, intensity, distance or the extent and the direction, right? And the time predictability of visual and auditory stimulus. So if you have a visual stimulus at a distance, a moving stimulus, right? What time will it take to come towards or far? तो ये जो stimulus के हिसाब से, the calculation of time depending on this moving stimulus. If you hear a certain sound somewhere, what is the distance at with? Time kitna? So these are all time predictabilities of the cerebellum. Now here in this diagram, it's a diagram for giving you an idea about the planning which goes. So which are the structures important for planning? Cerebellum, as you can see, basal ganglia, which is present deep within the core of the brain. The network of basal ganglia, the circuits of the basal ganglia, the supplementary motor area, the one you see in green, right? And to a small extent the premotor area. All of this participate in planning the movement, right? Premotor cortex का जो main function है, it's actually setting the posture right before you start the movement, right? But it also participates in planning to a certain extent, right? All the other areas, primary motor cortex will participate in execution. And what is the role of this? So this is the area actually, the sensory somatosensory area. So you remember, try to recall, corticospinal tract ke around 40% of the fibers arise from the somatosensory area, right? So this is lying here. So this is how a motor activity or a voluntary activity is produced in the brain. It's a circuit showing the participation of the various areas in the planning part and the execution part. So you see the lateral cerebellum participating in the planning. Lateral cerebellum means cerebellar hemispheres or the cerebrocerebellum, and execution में intermediate cerebellum. So execution is mainly happening from the motor cortex. It's making the movement. Feedback about this goes to the cerebellum. So intermediate cerebellum is participating in correcting the movement. Okay, so what is this? Now cerebrocerebellum का जो circuit है, right? So this is somewhat looks like this. So from the cortex, there is a set of fibers or afferents. The corticopontocerebellar tract. तो कल जो हमने afferent का टेबल डिस्कस किया था, so it's there, right? Afferents में, this is the afferent. From the cortex, it reaches the cerebellum. Corticopontocerebellar tract. So processing happens in the circuits of the cerebrocerebellum, and the output then goes to the dentate nucleus, deep cerebellar nucleus. So from the deep dentate nucleus, efferents reach the thalamus. From the thalamus back to the cortex. So this is a closed loop circuit which is participating in planning, right? So cerebello-dentato-thalamo-cortical loop, this is the one which is participating in planning. Need not be scared about the names, it just combines all the names. Cerebello-dentato-thalamo-cortical loop. Okay, so we'll slightly modify this now, right? So ये तो एक basic loop है ही, लेकिन in addition to this, we have two more things which are there. डेंटेड न्यूक्लियस से देर इज वन मोर प्रोजेक्शन. एक प्रोजेक्शन में देखा कि वो थैलेमस तक जा रहा है सीधा, थैलेमस से बैक टू द cortical areas. One more set of fibers from the dentate nucleus, it goes to the red nucleus of the brainstem, right? Red nucleus say this set of fibers then will come to the inferior olive, right? Inferior olive say, remember you had which fibers, climbing or mossy? Climbing fibers. So inferior olive say जो भी afferent any form of activity or signals which reach the olive, they are all related to the cerebellum through the form of which fibers? Climbing fibers. ठीक है. Now inferior olive collects proprioception from the whole body, right? Dorsal spinocerebellar, ventral spinocerebellar, all this. The list we just saw yesterday. Inferior olive also receives some descending signals. Inferior olive का जो location है वो brainstem में है. तो all the areas above that कि motor cortex से कुछ signal आया, right? As it goes down to the spinal cord, it will pass through the brainstem. So some signals reach the inferior olive. Cortex से जो निकला वो पहुंच रहा है inferior olive तक. Some of the signals from the cerebellum also through this loop it reaches the inferior olive. And once it reaches the inferior olive, then it again travels back to the cerebellum, right? So cells of the inferior olive have very high density of gap junctions. So there is a very fast transmission and immediately it is transmitted back to the cerebrocerebellum, the cerebellar cortex. So ये जो loop है, starting, I'll start from here, right? Because cerebrocerebellum was planning it. So cerebello, dentato, rubro, olivo and back to the cerebellum, right? So this loop, this whole loop is participating in ballistic movement, right? This loop. So basic loop was this planning programming के लिए. This side was the afferent one, and this side is the efferent one. And this additional loop is important for ballistic movement, right? Ballistic movement के बारे में already we have talked so much, right? What are these movements? Rapid, forceful movements. Once that movement or program is executed, during the execution, it is beyond the scope of any feedback corrections. Normal voluntary activities में कोई अगर error हुआ, गलती हुआ execution में, cerebellum will correct this. But this whole sequence of things इकट्ठा plan होता है and all of this is executed at once. So this is so fast that it is beyond the scope of any voluntary, any form of correction. Right? This is what is a ballistic movement. You can see some examples. I've talked about this example time and again. Typing also. Typing में if you start typing a sentence, तो usually you type something and then you realize कि एक दो letters उसमें गलत आ गए, right? Why was I not able to type it correctly at the first go? Right? Because that few words or phrases वो execute एक साथ हुआ, so that is an example of a ballistic movement. Of course, you can also do it very slowly कि देख देख के भी कर सकते हो आप. But when we want fast action, the movement is executed as a ballistic movement. तो ballistic movements के दो फायदे हैं. One is it is very fast. The second is it is very forceful. Those who type, right, this fast movements, you will also see the pattern of typing. It is usually tuck 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 sounds are produced. Compared to this, who is just one person who is just learning, वो धीरे धीरे वो slow भी है and it is also very touching very softly. So this is also common experience. You can see someone who is doing that. Once you start jumping, so during that jump now you have no scope to modify, right? So this is one. Bowler ने कैसे ball डाला? So this is again one more example. Once execution happens, you are not able to stop or modify this in between. These are various examples of ballistic movement. Remember the loop. That is important. Dentato, rubro, olivo, cerebello, dentate loop. Right? This is the loop for ballistic movement. Now, why is this like this? Now, whenever a plan is made, motor plan जब बनता है, the original plan कि this should be the sequence of activities. One copy of this plan goes to the cerebellum. We call this efference copy. One copy of the plan also goes to the red nucleus. So that is why इस loop में cerebellum के साथ red nucleus is also important, right? Red nucleus also remember gives rise to the rubrospinal tract, जो कि कंट्रोल कर रहा है डिस्टल पार्ट के फ्लेक्सर्स को, फ्लेक्सर्स ऑफ द डिस्टल पार्ट्स ऑफ द एक्सट्रीमिटीज. तो जितने भी एग्जांपल्स आप देखो, इफ यू रिमेंबर दिस एग्जांपल्स, मोस्टली इफ दिस इज ऑल कंपेयर टू दिस एग्जांपल, एक्सट्रीमिटीज के डिस्टल पार्ट्स आर इन्वॉल्व मोर. टाइपिंग, राइट? हियर ऑल्सो कि डायरेक्शन एटसेट्रा यू रेगुलेटेड फ्रॉम हियर. Of course, force के लिए ये सब होता है, you need the whole joint. But the final execution, direction, force, etc. will always be here. Similarly, here the participation of the gross, the larger joints are more. But while you lift off, take this lift, again you are pushing the ground with your ankle joint and the foot. Again, a distal part of an extremity. So rubrospinal tract usually helps in this. Okay, so ballistic movements के बाद coordination. So as I said some slides back, cerebrocerebellum enables simultaneous performance of multiple motor programs. Compared to this, basal ganglia का जो effect है, that is usually one sub program at a time. So basal ganglia also participates in this programming, but the effect is a bit limited. So this example, if you're just sitting like to take a glass of water, so which are the joints that should simultaneously move? So you have to turn towards the side, neck joint movement है, then there is a movement here, elbow पे movement है, and wrist joint पे there is some type of movement, variable degree of flexion and extension at all of these joints, and you have to open, so you have to hold or grip the glass of water. Multiple joints पे एक साथ movement coordination is done by the cerebrocerebellum. Okay, spinocerebellum. So the next part, so efference copy I just now mentioned कि plan का एक copy cerebellum के पास पहुंचता है, so it has the original intended plan. Now it collects feedback from both these tracts, spinocerebellar tracts. Periphery से proprioceptors में जो जाएगा, that is to the dorsal one, and plan का कितना हिस्सा correctly it reaches the spinal motor neurons, right? उस level पे जो feedback है, that is a central feedback कि motor neuron और muscles से जाने से पहले how much of it correctly reach the spinal cord. That feedback goes to the ventral spinocerebellar tract back to the cerebellum. And if there is a mismatch, so interpositus nucleus will correct. So processing will happen in the intermediate zone or the spinocerebellum. There this entire thing will be processed. Processing के बाद spinocerebellum में दो deep cerebellar nuclei हैं, vestigial and the globus and emboliform. So globus and emboliform together are called as nucleus interpositus. So they again correct it by delivering corrective signals or motor commands to the primary motor cortex and the red nucleus. So this is how all of this happened. So this is the spinocerebellum. So through interstitio-rubral fiber it reaches the red nucleus. So from the red nucleus you see it is giving rise to the rubrospinal tract. What is the effect of cerebellum on muscle tone? Next important aspect, right? Spinocerebellum का जो lateral part था या intermediate zone था, इनका function हमने देखा कि correction, right? Error correction, detecting an error and correcting it. Medial part is responsible for influencing the medial descending systems of the body. So tone and posture regulation comes from effect on this medial part of the vermis. Now here what you see, these are the different deep cerebellar nuclei. So vestigial, globose, emboliform and dentate. So we are talking of the vermis of the spinocerebellum, the most medial structure. After all processing happens in the spinocerebellar cortex, what happens is vestigial nuclei may there is some form of activity. right? From the vestigial nucleus, there are two efferent projections. One projection goes to the reticular formation of the brainstem. Which one? The facilitatory reticular formation, जो कि present है pons में. So reticular formation pons में भी है, medulla में भी है. Pons वाला जो reticular formation, that is excitatory, and medulla में जो reticular formation, that is inhibitory. But this projection is to the facilitatory reticular formation. So what you understand here is, what should be the effect? It should increase muscle tone, right? कैसे करता है? You go back and read the reticulospinal tracts we have discussed, by affecting the gamma motor neuron discharge. This also projects to the vestibular nuclei, except the Dieter's nuclei. Dieter's one is the lateral vestibular nuclei, which gives rise to the vestibulospinal tract. Okay. Here you see one extra thing. So this is a schematic depiction of the same. So spinocerebellum say it is coming to the reticular formation, and it is also coming to the vestibular nuclei. So pink में जो आपको दिख रहा है, this is the Dieter's nucleus, the lateral one of the vestibular nuclei group. Dieter's nuclei में जो influence है, that is, if you look very nicely in the diagram, you see this additional blue fiber. What is this thing? बाकी का जो पार्ट है, यू कैन ऑल अंडरस्टैंड कि पहले सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग हो रहा है सेरेबेलर कॉर्टेक्स में. यू कैन सी इन द वन इन ब्लू, फ्रॉम द सेरेबेलर कॉर्टेक्स इट रीचेस द डीप सेरेबेलर न्यूक्लियाई, विच इन दिस केस इज वेस्टिजियल न्यूक्लियस, एंड देन उससे आगे इट इज रीचिंग ऑल दिस स्ट्रक्चर्स. दिस इज अ प्रोजेक्शन डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द कॉर्टेक्स. यू कैन सी द ब्लू कलर, राइट? So this is actually a separate area of the cerebellar cortex. This is called as B zone of the cerebellar cortex. Now you listen to this very carefully, because different books you will find that कि tone पे ऐसा effect है, वैसा effect है, but they will not explain actually why. You can see the dual effect of the cerebellum on muscle tone. B zone of the cerebellum, what is that part? So this part is actually the vermal part of the anterior lobe of the cerebellar cortex. Do you have a diagram? Yes. So this is the anatomical picture, right, of the different parts of the cerebellum. You will read about all of these lobules and numbering in anatomy. This is the anterior lobe. Primary fissure के जो anterior, that is the anterior lobe. Now anterior lobe में this vermal part, this is what is called as the B zone, right? तो B zone में why is it special? Because this B zone has only strips of Purkinje cells, sagittal strips of Purkinje cells, which are called as microzones, right? तो B zone में you have only Purkinje cell, remember. So B zone Purkinje cell का effect क्या था? It was inhibitory. तो B zone projections to the vestigial nucleus and to the Dieter's nucleus are inhibitory, right? So this will inhibit muscle tone. Now what will be the ultimate effect on the body? So it will be a balance of both facilitation and inhibition. But generally human beings में the excitatory effect predominates. तो cerebellum का जो tone पे effect है, there is a dual effect, but the overall effect is excitatory. So if there is a cerebellar lesion, the tone of the muscles will be reduced. You will have hypotonia. Okay. You remember this picture, right? A very complicated picture. We have taken one complete class to explain this. So, इस picture में this is this projection. This is what the projection of the B zone looks like. Remember हमने अभी कहा कि B zone के projections to the vestigial as well as the Dieter's nucleus is inhibitory. So this is the Dieter's nucleus, which is giving rise to the lateral vestibulospinal tract. So this projection that you see, this is the corollary of the B zone of the cerebellum. तो cerebellum का general effect tone पे जो है वो facilitatory है, it increases tone except for this small one. So when there was a lesion here, you remember कि जब हमने we introduced a lesion which specifically anterior lobe of the cerebellum को remove किया, either by surgical ablation of the animal or by ligating the blood supply of the anterior lobe. The result was rigidity. That means वो उसको टोन को suppress कर रहा था. When that was removed, when that inhibited influence was removed, there was rigidity. So this is the explanation of this particular part. Why the anterior lobe behaves like this. One important aspect cerebellar function ka, it is the damping effect on movements. So whenever we start making any movement, by laws of physics, you all know about the concept of inertia and momentum. So when you start moving, so the momentum develops and it will keep on having some form of inertia of motion, right? So if that is not corrected or restrained, the desired movement will not happen, right? So this is where the cerebellar function again comes into place. By inherent nature, all movements are pendular or oscillatory because of this property of momentum and inertia. Now once a pattern of activity is learned or known, at least by experience, cerebellum actively dampens these tendencies of overshoot, right, and pendular nature. And how is it possible? This is possible because again you think about the cerebellar circuit. तो सर्किट में ऐसे बहुत सारे जगहें हैं where you can on and off, that is increase or reduce the activity. So inbuilt जो excitatory inhibitory nature है cerebellar circuit का, this is helping the body in damping of the movements. So if there is a lesion of the cerebellum, movements become oscillatory or pendular. Vestibulocerebellum. Now connections of the vestibulocerebellum, they go to the vestibular nuclei, right? And afferents to this come from the vestibular apparatus of the inner ear. So consequently, what do we expect? Balance maintenance में, so utricle and saccule, these are the afferent organs. Semicircular canals, when there is suppose someone is spinning, dance में हो रहा है ऐसा कुछ. So all these tendencies where some form of balance related signals are there, they are all integrated in the vestibulocerebellum and overall the balance is maintained. It also participates in some postural reflexes, head on neck and head on body postural reflex. वो क्या है? We have talked about this in 2-3 classes back. Some form of reflex eye movements like the vestibulo-ocular reflex, right? This also is we'll talk about the reflex eye movements in special senses and it also brings about anticipatory postural adjustments. So whenever there is a tendency of falling, you anticipate this and issue a corrective signal. Now, what is the role of cerebellum as a whole in motor learning, right? Learning may, remember, at the level of the neurons, everything happens by a property of the synapses we call as synaptic plasticity, right? So what was that property? Plastic का क्या मतलब है? Plastic means, the property of plasticity means it is a fluid thing, but it can take the shape of any mold that you give it to, right? So similarly, the neuron, the synapses specifically, they have this property. If you keep on doing an activity over and over again, तो जो particular circuits या synapses involved हो रहे थे, there the activity will increase. So this is the basis of learning, synaptic plasticity. So whenever, and now putting this in perspective of the motor functions, whenever we are starting any new activity, तो planning program में ये सब कुछ होगा, cortical areas में होगा, plan program बन के, then execution will happen. तो execution के दौरान cerebellum is participating in various aspects, smooth transitioning, coordination, this and that, right turn and turn off circuits. During its execution, when it receives a feedback about an error, so again by influencing or modulating this turn on and turn off aspects, so corrective signals will be delivered, right? So once a corrective signal is delivered, that particular program, correction हुआ कैसे था? That particular program in the cerebellar circuit, it is preserved. When I say preserved, it means synaptic plasticity. कि training के साथ, that means repeated activity के साथ, specific Purkinje and granule cells में, specific parallel fibers में, those corrections will be saved through some changes of synaptic plasticity. So this changes can be short term, जैसे किसी किसी जगहों पे receptor activity is more, receptor spends more time in open state, for example. This is a short term or a functional change. Alternately, some of those synapses, receptor proteins may be increased. New receptor proteins can be inserted, for example. This is a structural change that is happening. So all of this happen at the level of the synapses. And why is it important? Because parallel fiber may, you remember the network of parallel fiber and their interconnections. So there are around 80,000 to 2 million synapses for each Purkinje cell. So this is the number of synapses that is there and which can be modified as required with experience. So initially, whenever you start doing anything, any motor task as you're learning, it is started from here, prefrontal cortex, which is the executive. तो executive का मतलब है decision maker, कि करना है या नहीं, right? Idea. So idea can be in response, or you can actively think about doing something. So if you actively think, it arises from here. So once the activity is learned, it moves on to the motor cortex and the cerebellum, right? Okay. So moving on to the disorders now. तो अलग-अलग जो functions हैं, if there is a lesion somewhere in the cerebellum, depending on the area that is lesioned, so there will be some form of symptoms, right? कुछ ऐसे causes हैं which will affect the cerebellum as a whole, but there will be some causes like a space occupying lesion, a tumor in some part of the cerebellum, or some form of hemorrhage. So जो area affect होगा by these local lesions, that functions will be affected, right? But if it is suppose, for example, a hereditary cause, some form of nucleotide repeat sequences, some form of mutations, some form of metabolic disorders like Refsum's disease and amino acid urease. So generalized manifestations will be there. So if the vestibulocerebellum is impaired, so what do you expect? There will be a loss of balance, right? And there will be some form of nystagmus. So what is nystagmus? Nystagmus is a rapid oscillatory movement of the eyes, right? Why it happens, we'll talk about this in special senses, right? Moving on to spinocerebellum. So spinocerebellum may, if there is a problem, so it will manifest in the form of hypotonia. We have discussed about the effect of tone. It will also cause ataxia. Ataxia means incoordination. So ataxia can be ataxia of the gait, a broad movement as such, locomotion mein there is incoordination, or a specific ataxia of a limb. So this will manifest in the form of intention tremor or decomposition of movement. What are this? Just come into some examples. Cerebrocerebellum, planning, scaling, all of this disc function. If that is affected, we get something called as dysmetria. Metria means pertaining to measurement. So that part is affected, dysmetria. This will present or manifest in the form of past pointing, adiadochokinesia, or now this is a complicated word to speak, right? Dysdiadochokinesia or adiadochokinesia. So this itself is a word which you can actually use for testing cerebellar function. So learn about this in the lab today. Intention tremor. So this is again an error, not intensive. Intention tremor, right? To correct this word. And decomposition of movement. This will be the lesions, effects of the lesions. We'll see some of them, right? Drunken gait, what happens? So drunken gait, all of you know, right? Some of you might have even experienced drunken gait. So what happens, the person is walking with a broad base. So normally, the distance mein hum log walk kare, this is a moderate base. We do not walk like this or like this. This is a drunken gait. Along with this gait, there is a swaying. Swaying means tendency of falling. So cerebellum में जिस side में lesion है, there is a tendency of falling on the same side, right? Past pointing. So past pointing or dysmetria means कि जो calculation, scaling functions थे, कितना distance जाना चाहिए, right? That is the rate, speed, all of this becomes affected. So if you try to say, if you close your eyes and try to, so can all of you close your eyes? Let's see. How many of you are able to do this? Now outstretch your hand like this. Right hand. Right? Now what you have to do is you have to form a closed loop. एक arc बना के you have to touch your nose. So first you do with your open eyes. You touch your own nose. You know? I can see someone touching each other's nose. Not like this. I can see Harshvardhan doing this. Not this. तो ऐसे करना है. Now can you try doing with your closed eyes? Right? So whenever, so this is actually a test, finger nose test. We will do it in the lab also today. So if your cerebellum was affected, तो ये जो जितना कैलकुलेशन था कि कितना जाना है कितना नहीं जाना है, all this would have affected. So this is an example of dysmetria or past pointing. You might have ended up beyond the nose. Ataxia means, the word ataxia means incoordination or clumsiness of movement. Okay, now let's see what do you think is this? So daily life में जो activities हैं, small activities, seemingly simple like closing the buttons or opening the buttons, writing, these are all activities where there will be clumsiness in movement, combing, right? So what is this? This is an example of the broad base drunken gait, and this is not nystagmus, just to give an idea. So to and fro oscillatory movement of the eyeballs whenever we attempt to fixate our gaze on any object. So this is called as nystagmus. So you all of you just did this, right? This test is called as finger nose test. We have a similar counterpart of this test for the lower limbs also. It's called as the heel shin test. So we'll do today. Intention tremor. Why does this happen? Now this tremor is very very different from the resting tremor of Parkinsonism. So Parkinsonism में tremor था resting tremor. Here this type of tremor will appear when you attempt doing a voluntary task. So rest में these tremors are not there. This is the most striking difference of the tremor of Parkinson's and cerebellar lesion. And why does this happen? The reason, as you say, पहला जो इफेक्ट है कि सेरेबेलम का जो डैम्पेनिंग एक इफेक्ट था ऑन पेंडुलर नेचर ऑफ द मूवमेंट, दैट इज अफेक्टेड. डिजीज में दैट इफेक्ट इज गॉन. सेकेंड पार्ट इज सेरेबेलर लीशन में यू आर ट्राइंग टू अटेम्प्ट अ मूवमेंट. बिकॉज ऑफ द लीशन कैलकुलेशन मेजरमेंट जो एस्पेक्ट थे दैट इज नॉट देयर. सो कॉर्टेक्स, cerebral cortex now, or the motor cortex will actively plan it out, right? So but there will still be some form of overshoot. So overshoot hoga because of the disease. Now there is some form of correction consciously by the brain. Agar cerebellum sahi hota, this correction would have happened subconsciously. So once that is done, suppose you want to do this, the correction, this was the target, for example, right? Now you want to reach this target of the object. You're trying to, but calculation etc. is affected, you end up going there. This is past pointing or dysmetria. Now brain ने ये देखा कि it has gone beyond, तो cortex, cerebral cortex will now consciously correct this error. Remember now in a cerebellar disease, correction is happening consciously, not subconsciously. So it has to be brought to the opposite direction now. So ideally this much should be the ideal distance. But again, because scaling or measurement function is not there, you will end up going beyond this on this side now. Again there will be a correction, will end up going here, and this sequence will keep on going. So eventually this will cause oscillations in the motor execution, which will manifest in the form of tremors. Now this complicated word, dysdiadochokinesia. What does this mean? Inability to do rapid alternating movements. Like, so say, can you all of you hold your hands like this, palms like this, right? Now if you are asked to touch the palm of your left hand once with the dorsum and once with the palmar aspect of you, can you do this? rapid alternating movement, right? You can all do this. Cerebellar lesion may you will not be able to perform this type of rapid alternating movement, and we will call this as dysradiculokinesia. Fine. Decomposition of movement. एक ऐसा बहुत complicated activity है. If I ask you to do it at once, you will be able to do. Say if you want to write the spelling of dysradiculokinesia एक बार में, you can write it. But cerebellar lesion में all compound tasks they are broken down into small parts. So speech, for example, is broken down into small syllables or phonemes, and the speech becomes scanned speech. Right? एक बार में there is not, the progression is not able to be done. Rebound phenomena. Gen Z के लिए rebound is a different thing, so I'll not go to that. Some of you have understood, you're smiling. But generally rebound, what does this mean? So if I ask, you can see this example. You ask the subject to flex, you give resistance. Suppose the subject is trying to contract against resistance, suddenly you remove your hand. तो ये इस force के साथ you will be able to hold it back because your cerebellum is intact. You will be able to abruptly stop it. But a patient who has cerebellar lesion, he or she will not be able to abruptly stop, and the movement will eventually lead to an action like this. So this is also what happens with rebound. Okay, now what you find here is pendular nature of the knee jerks. Knee jerk you will do in the next week in the lab. So you can see it keeps on oscillating like this. So this is an abnormal form of a deep tendon reflex. All deep tendon reflexes, specifically the knee jerk, because it is very classically visible, it behaves like this, right? So with this we come to a close of the cerebellum, right? So we have seen circuits of the cerebellum, बहुत important है. Functional divisions of the cerebellum and which functions they perform, and the effects of their lesion. So broadly, if I am to summarize, vestibulocerebellum performs the function of balance, equilibrium, right? Some of the reflex eye movements. Spinocerebellum performs the movement of error correction and influencing the tone and posture, right? And the cerebrocerebellum participate in all forms of planning, programming, scaling or measuring the movements, right? And anything else? Coordination, movement across multiple joints, right? So with this we'll stop. Next class we'll talk of the thalamus and the role of cortex.